the bird is just too small in the picture. I see, it just so happens there's a great example right there. Beautiful picture, great feeder, good background. I think there's a red type bird on the right-hand side of that feeder. Oh, we'll just zoom in on it. You can't and still have a quality picture because with your cell phone, most likely, you're using digital zoom. You're not zooming, you're just taking a smaller and smaller bite of that file. So then you take that little bitty one and try to bring it up to calendar size or a large print size. You don't have enough pixels to give you a sharp image, and so you get a fuzzy picture you can't use. So the number one problem we run into is the bird or the subject of the picture is just too small in the overall picture. And for composition, not that we're too concerned about real composition, but you like to see at least 25% of the overall picture taken up by the subject. The feeder and the bird, or just the bird. If it's much less than 25%, you've got, unless there's a really beautiful background, that's not a bad picture, but you can't see what you want to see. So that's one thing. Try to get closer. And we'll go into some of the ways to combat these problems. But that's number one. The bird's too small in the picture. Get close. It's easy if you want to be still, sit down, put a blanket around you in a chair not too far from the feeders. And once you're still for a while, the birds will ignore you and come right up to the feeder, and you can get within 10 or 15 feet of the feeder and still have birds on it. Or you can zoom a little bit on digital if you've got a good camera, that's fine. But just be aware that the really small birds in a big picture aren't very useful. So just make the adjustments that you can make to overcome that.
Yeah, and keep the feeders clean so that the background looks nice and that sort of thing. And so those are great tips.
The feeder clean thing is a mistake I have made far too often.
Me
you
too.
would think you would learn, but I take the pictures, a great picture, great birds, dirty feeder.
Yeah.
Not that I ever have dirty feeders, but it has happened.
Yeah, that happens to the best
This
of
happens
us.
sometimes when you do things right.
Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful.
It just happens. Every picture is not that nice, but it's got interest. It's got a variety of birds. The lighting's nice. The background's okay. And it's big enough, the resolution's high enough to make it so you can expand it to calendar size and have a nice shot.
Were you zoomed in on that, or were you really close?
Zoomed a little bit and fairly close, probably 8 feet away, 9 feet, being real still, just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I put the little camera on a tripod so it didn't shake.
Yeah.
And then I could just push the button when the bird was there. I didn't have to make any movements and scare it off. But I could sit right there and watch him. Hello, this is Richard Cole. I want to thank each of you for watching, and I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share it.